good for us and they have health benefits for our body. So we drop some tea. I'm sorry, we pour some tea and we drink some tea. All right. So first, up tonight, let me just get my notes together. And the first up tonight is our topic, and our topic is about Jingle Jangle, the movie. So my question to you is, have any of you watched the movie Jingle Jangle? It is the new Netflix movie, and it is called Jingle Jangle. If you have watched it, why don't you put yes in the chat for me? And if you have not, tell me no, so I have an idea of what we're dealing with. If you watch it, say yes. Yes. If you haven't watched it, say no. Haven't watched it. And I will share with you in a second what I have in my cup. We'll do that at tea time. I did watch it with my family. I see Miss Kathy said she started watching it. I did watch it with my family because I saw some stuff on Facebook, right? And I thought, okay, this is interesting. I need to find out about this. And it was a really, really good movie, right? And then I watched it again today so that I can talk about it tonight. So let me just give you a little, I only see one person saying that they did watch it. So let me just give you a little information about it. It is probably the new classic Black family Christmas film. It is on Netflix, as I said. It stars Felicia Rashad, I can't think his name right now, only because of what I have in my cup. We'll discuss that later. But it does have Felicia Rashad. The music's done by John Legend. It has, what is his name? Y'all tell me. The brother that played King of Harlem, is that what it is? Forrest Whitaker. So Forrest Whitaker, Felicia Rashad, music by John Legend. Anika Noni Rose. Juicy says she hasn't watched it. I'm telling you, it's a good film. It put me in terms of, it had everything. Let me say that. This movie had everything. It has, as you can see, the wonder. I think that lighting that they use makes it really, really beautiful, right? But it has that whole wonder of the Christmas film that I don't think I've seen in terms of a family film. I don't think I've seen Black films that look like this before. So the cinematography is beautiful. It had absolutely everything. It has beautiful cinematography. It has awesome wardrobe, costumes, that everybody's hair is laid. Do you feel me? The music is on point. The dance routines are on point. The hairstyles are on point. It's just an all around, for the most part, a really good film. Felicia Rashad, of course, is beautiful as ever. And then here's some new players that I don't really know by name, and I didn't look them up. I've not seen, I don't think, this young man and this woman and child before. They played the young, protagonists, I guess you could say, the protagonist family. So here, this guy is a inventor. Right? And his name is Geronicus, I think his name is. Geronicus Jangle, I think is his name. Geronicus Jangle. And Geronicus Jangle is touted by many in his hometown as the quintessential, inventor. The world's best inventor, I think is what they call him. The world's best inventor. As you can see, it's set in like Victorian times, which I thought was really interesting too, especially considering the fact that we've not seen Black people in this Victorian era, depicted in this Victorian era yet, right? I see some question, was there anything her or her sister touches is good? I guess you're talking about Felicia Rashad. I agree with you. Anything they touch is almost like gold. I absolutely agree. So these people, Geronicus Jangle they call him the world's best or best inventor, I think it is. And he has a shop that looks very similar. I'm almost feeling like it is the exact same set, really. I think it's the same set that they use in Mr. Megorium Wonder Emporium, if you saw that. So it's set in that, it looks just like the same place, really it does. but they are in these black people are in this Victorian setting. What's interesting about it though is I thought it was kind of interesting. I heard somebody say, or someone said to me, it was weird to see black folks in that setting. I don't know if black people were in, Victorian England like that, at that time. And I thought, well, you know what? A whole lot of history that we got was untrue. A whole lot of stuff that they taught us in our history books and what have you was nothing like the truth. So if we want to embellish a little bit, I don't think anything is wrong with that, right? So it's absolutely a beautiful movie. Anyway, Jeronicus Jangle is the inventor, and his desire is to create. You can tell when it first starts, he is waiting on something, but we don't know what he's waiting on. So he's waiting on something, and it comes in the mail, and man, he just erupts. He's so excited, and his wife is excited, and Charlotte's excited, because that in his hand right now, whatever that is, and it's actually a liquid, that's what he's been waiting on, so that he can create something that he needed this particular liquid for. So it comes, and immediately they start basically counting dollars about what is going to happen with their lives, that they're going to turn into these fabulous people. So he starts saying to his to people in his store, in his shop, I'm letting everything go. He's giving everything away because he's about to, really embark upon what he's wanted to all his life. But when he takes that liquid, I don't want to give all of the story away. But I will say that when he takes that, I have to say a little bit to give you an idea of what we're talking about. But when he takes that liquid and he uses the liquid in a little doll that he has created, it comes to life, right? So immediately, you just about can get ready for, the fact that their lives are going to change completely, because this invention, this little man comes to life. And his name is Don Juan. He stands up and he's like a Hispanic, maybe a matador or something like that. But let me go back, because somebody said they did see it. I want to ask you a question. Let's see. Miss Catherine says that she started watching it, but she didn't finish watching it. Did you get to Don Juan by any chance, Miss Kathy? Let me know. Because what's interesting about Don Juan is Don Juan comes to life, and Don Juan is almost like he's almost like a Frankenstein, because once he comes to life, Don Juan actually talks. Okay, so you saw him come to life. When Don Juan comes to life, Don Juan actually talks them into talks the Mr. Jangle's assistant. He talks him into stealing his invention and running away. Oh, Miss Kathy said it's on now. It's a great movie, y'all. If y'all can, catch it, pull it up, because it's a good movie. But he actually talks him into stealing his invention, and the long and short of it is, Gustafson, I think his name is Gustafson, is his, hey D, what's going on? Gustafson is Mr. Jangle's apprentice, is what he is. And the apprentice takes off along with the little doll that comes alive, Don Juan, and they become rich, and their life takes on a whole new, meaning, which leaves Mr. Jeronicus Jangle and his family right there in the spot where we started. So it's immediately, you're all high with them, expecting some major thing to happen, and the damn doll that he created, itty bitty doll, is able to talk to the apprentice, and it taking the shit and running, right? So there were quite a few things that came through that I thought was very, very interesting. I won't tell you the end of it, because so many of you have not seen it, but there are some things that I wanted to mention. And one thing I want you to think about it, which is kind of cool, because I'm going to give you some things to look at when you go into this movie. My first question is, did Professor Jangle, did he give birth to his ego when he created Don Juan? Did he give birth to his ego? Because Don Juan was very, very egotistical. He was a damn narcissist. Everything was about him. His issue was he knew that Professor Jangle was going to create more Don Juans. That was the plan. Once he created his first one, he was going to create, he said, millions of them and put them in the hands of children. And when Don Juan heard that, he said, hell no. He didn't say hell no. I'm saying hell no. He said, what? No, there's only one of me. There's only one. I am the one and the only, And from that point on, he went about, trying to explain to his inventor, his inventor that he didn't want another one of him. No, it's got to be me. It's got to be me. Okay, let me see some of this. Juicy said, that won't discourage me from watching it. You good, though? Good. I'm like that, too. That don't stop me from watching nothing. I'll let somebody tell me the entire story and still watch it as soon as they get through talking. I agree with that. So good. I'm glad I'm not messing you up or taking anything from you. So it's interesting. I want you to think about that when you watch it. Did he give birth to his own ego? Because oftentimes, our egos can get the best of us, right? Because very clearly, Professor Jangle seems to be a very nice guy. He has a beautiful family and, he's on a come up and he's respected in his community. But when he gives birth to that thing that he wants so bad, which is really, when you think about it, that Don Juan, I think, represents fame and fortune, and that's why I say ego. I think he represents a desire to have plenty. But that desire turns around and actually becomes almost the ruin of him. So I want you to think about that. Another thing is, anybody else, some of you are still coming in. So as you're coming in, let me know if you got a chance to watch Jingle Jangle on Netflix. If you have, let me know what you think. Put it in the chat. I want to hear what you think about it, But I'm throwing out some ideas or some themes that I saw running across the movie. And I just kind of want to share them with you because most of you, I don't think, have seen it. So I'll share what I have and I won't share everything. I'll share some of it. And then hopefully you can go back when you watch it tonight. You can check it out. All right. I see Kuji Chagulia salutations. Salutations to you as well. We are talking about Jingle Jangle. If you've seen it, let me know. If you have any thoughts about it, I want to talk about that. Let us know. Just put it right there in the chat. But I just want to kind of go through a few more things because most of you have not seen it, but I won't tell you the whole movie. When you look at it, too, I want you to think about the fact that Don Juan begins as a thief and continues and becomes an imposter as well as a thief. So he becomes a thief and an imposter, or he helps Gustafson to become a thief and an imposter. Again, I think that's interesting that I believe that's tied to his ego, right? Meaning the professor's ego. So, because we all have a little ego, right? We all do. Whether we feed it or not, we all have it. It's interesting to me, though, that his and it was small, too. It's interesting, right? That little man was itty bitty. I mean, you could hold him on your hand, but he was big enough, I think, in the ego, right? He was big enough to almost destroy his life. So I think that's a lesson for us, in that little family film. So look at that when you look at it. The question again is Don Juan, did the professor give birth to his own ego when he gave birth to Don Juan, when he created Don Juan? Okay, so sometimes fame and fortune can be our demise. Again, that's tagged to that ego. Think about that when you watch it. Gustafson was Mr. Jingle Jangle's apprentice. But he was the one that got him, He was the one that got him. So I thought the lesson there was, sometimes the closest people to us can be our enemy. So we have to be careful. We have to really be careful because he had, my baby said to me, she said, "What is an apprentice, Mom? What is an apprentice?" I said, an apprentice is it's really like it's a worker, I said, but apprentice almost is like a child of yours too. It's not just a worker, right? He's a worker, but he or she works very close with you, and you show them all the ins and outs of the business. They don't get paid, but they get all the knowledge that you have, right? So an employee doesn't necessarily get all the knowledge that you have. You may give them a task to do. They may do some things that you ask them to do, but they don't get all of it, but an apprentice gets all of it. So I thought it was interesting that Gustafson was an apprentice, and the moment somebody got in his ear, he was ready to turn tide. So that was interesting. Anyone else, as you are coming in, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Do me a favor, share the stream while you are here. I have a goal. The goal is to have 1,000 subscribers by February, if God say the same, when I leave for Gambia, because I'd like to be able to do what I'm doing on YouTube from my phone, and you got to have 1,000 subscribers to do that. So help your sister by sharing the stream, so we can bring more folk in, and more folk will help us out. So I had a few more things, but I'm not going to go through all this because I don't think many of you have seen this. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot more on Mr. Jingle Jangle and the Jingle Jangle discussion. But again, check out this video. It's a great video. Again, it has, let me say this, one thing I did not like about it, because it kind of gets us ready for our next topic too. This thing had everything. Like I said, it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to hear. John Legend produced the music. Come on. I'm talking about these folks sang. And I'm talking about the baby, in terms of their costumes, beautiful, right? The hair, the baby had a what do you call it? A fro hawk. I said, damn, look at that right there. She was a little inventor. So she had cogs and gears decorating her fro hawk. The daddy, when he got to be older, his afro, it was slamming. It looked like he kind of put me in the mind of what's his name, Frederick Douglass. It was big, right? It was big. Beautiful. Just everything was beautiful. But there was one thing I did not like about this film. And that's going to get us ready for the next topic. So one thing I did not like, and that was when there was a rift between Mr. Jangle and his daughter. I won't tell you what caused the rift because you haven't seen it. But there was a rift between Mr. Jangle and his daughter, which was Anita, played by Anita Noni Rose. I keep saying Noki. It's this damn, I'm telling you what's calling me to say Noki. Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey, that's what it is. Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey. Yeah, anyway. Anika Noni Rose. When her character separated from her father, she had a child. She eventually sent the child back to her father. She didn't bring her. She sent her back to her father, and to bridge the gap between the two of them, right? Dee said Jack will do that. Yeah, Jack is doing that. He's doing whatever the hell he want to do. So what was interesting is that they never said anything about her father, the baby's father. I mean, there was no mention of him, like he never existed. It was like the daughter, Jessica was her name, I think. Like Jessica left and had some kind of immaculate birth. It was crazy. They didn't say nothing about the daddy. She came back. I mean, she sent the baby back, and then she came back, and then she reunited with her father. But there was no mention of the father at all. And this was a brilliant little girl. And of course, they made it very clear that she got a lot of her intelligence from her mom, who would have gotten it from her father, because the father was Jangle was an inventor, and his daughter Jessica was an inventor. And then she had an inventor, but I don't care how much inventing they was doing. She couldn't have invented shit without daddy. And there was no mention of him at all. So I thought that was interesting. Very interesting. So I'm going to ask you something real quickly as we go into, we're going to get ready, and we'll do a quick little break so that I can freshen up my cup. You can freshen up your cup, and we'll come back and get into the Black family, right? So this will be a minute or so. So it's time for you to take your break, because this might be a long one. I got a feeling it'll be a long one, and that's fine with me, because this is where I want to go anyway. But as you do that, my question to you is, why do you think, even if you haven't watched it, Why do you imagine, or can you imagine why they would have left the father out of that film completely? Again, the grandfather was there. But when Jessica went home or went away, she had a child, but there was no father mentioned. So my question to you, as we take this quick minute and a half break, is, why do you think they didn't mention the dad at all? Or even if you haven't seen it, can you think of a reason, maybe, that there was no father mentioned? Inquiring minds want to know. So listen, freshen your cup, answer the prompt, answer the question, and I will see you in about a minute and a half. Take your break, because you're going to need it for Black Family Unit, because I want to hear what you think. I really want to hear what you think.